Hi, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing good. Today we are going to talk about Kubernetes secrets. That is under my playlist part 9. Let's dive in. So what is a secret? Secret is an object that contains a small amount of sensitive data such as username, password, token, or a key, whatever it is. Secrets intended to hold confidential data according to the application. Secrets can be created independently, and those secrets are used by pods. Secrets can be shared with single or multiple applications. Redundancy can be avoided. Secret must be encoded data, not plain text. Kind type, you can create secret. Secrets can be configured via environment variables using kubelet commands also, and linked to pods. Secrets are unencrypted at API server side. Inside etcd, it is a key value store. Secrets should be encrypted at rest to avoid any malicious attacks, such things. Enable appropriate rollback access control so that your engines are safe cluster level access. RBAC means role based access control. Okay. So what is all this mean? Say, ideally, an application will be using certain configuration data with respect to the application. Say your application is connecting with a database server. You should need database username, database password, database URL, so that applications can communicate and get the appropriate queries as per your application needs. So if you have multiple applications going to use the same username, password, and URLs, why we need to configure across all the applications? We don't need to do it. You can create as a Kubernetes secret and can be referenced across your applications so that the data redundancy. And as I said, secrets by default you cannot store as a plain text. Try to store it as an encoded text. Okay, before you keep plain text, make sure you convert that into encoded format using base 64 is the algorithm which we can apply and convert, and then you can decode it as well. So make sure that your cluster is intended with these two supported. So secrets are various types. Opaque secrets. Opaque secrets are nothing but you can create username, password kind. That's a generic type. Say you wanted to go with the service account token secrets. Of course, yes. For this, you need to create a cluster level role. That is what I described before, rollback based. And Docker config secrets. Say whenever you are going to pull any image from the Docker, you wanted to restrict specific set of users. Yes, you can configure Docker secrets. Basic authentication like username, password based. If you want to authenticate basic secret for your services, yes, you can. SSH authentication like you supposed to know public key, private key, SSH files, so that you can able to, whoever wanted to connect to my pod as SSH, it will restrict. So TLS level support, whenever we are going to use any transport, say for example HTTP level, the appropriate certificates it will expect, and bootstrap token secret. So likewise, different variety of secret supported. You need to choose as per your application needs which is suit. So whenever you are creating any type of the secret, the naming conventions followed according to that specific secret type. By default, secrets are created and used whenever you deploy any of the pod. Say you don't want to use the default secrets, you wanted to go with your custom secret. Yes, of course, you can do that. But ideally, pods, whenever you are deploying into the Kubernetes engine, the default secrets created. So here I am going to host in my Windows machine, Linux machine running as a guest. Inside the guest, I'm running a Minikube. I'm going to create a pod service using Spring Boot image, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to link with the Spring Boot application. So Docker public registry image access, because the Spring Boot library which I'm referring from Docker registry, and up and running Kubernetes engine and internet connectivity, intended audience or developers or any type of developers, not specific to Java. These are the reference links. So let's jump into the real hands-on session. As described, whenever we are going to create any type of a secret, what we supposed to do? We're supposed to encode the data. So here I am using a Linux machine to encode using base64 algorithm. Okay. Say echo in my application username is say Narayana. I direct to base64. This is the encoded text for Narayana. Likewise, I do say secret 123. So this is the another encoded text. Now I use the Kubernetes create command, create secret, and I say generic my hyphen credentials, creds I specify. So now I need to specify my username, password. So this has a literal. So from literal equal to, what is this username I'm considering? User equal to, say this is the user. I specify another literal. Let's equal to say password. Failure to create. So it is saying already exists. So let's try to create a new one. Say my credentials 2, for example. Now I have created my credentials 2, and we will go ahead and see whether those created or not. Kubernetes say get secrets. Yes, I can see that there are 2 secrets available. Let me go ahead and describe secrets. That is my secret. So I can see that user and password as a data. Type of the secret is opaque. Now I need to map this with my pod. How I'm going to map? This is how I'm going to map with my pod. You can see that this is a kind type pod, and this is a web service Spring Boot based container name, and this is the image which I'm pulling from public registry. Image, if it is already there, don't pull. If required, pull it, and binding and setting the resources and ports. Here I'm specifying the name is volume mounts. My credentials, this is the path where I wanted to mount my credentials, and read only. And now I declare a volumes, my credentials, the name. What is the name of the secret? My hyphen credentials 2, creds 2. So now let's go ahead and deploy this. Kubernetes apply. This is how Kubernetes deployment works. So now it is saying it created. Let's see whether it is created or not. Yes, it is up and running, it is saying. So I wanted to access whether it is running or not, right? My pod. You can see that my Kubernetes pod up and running as a Spring Boot service, which is running on 8080 Tomcat port. You can see Bootstrap, Tomcat, container service 8080. Okay, we are good. Now, where this is hosted as a pod engine, right? So to do lookup as a pod engine, exec is a command. Let's clear this. Exec, the name of the pod, for example, this, followed by this, and say I use Unix style command. I wanted to list all the directory which is running in the inside the pod. I can see app. Let's see what is containing inside the app. I can see that this is the Spring Boot jar which is up and running as a container image. Now I wanted to see where is credentials created under etc. Now let me list it. Whether my credentials are there. Yes, I can see that my -creds. I can see that there are two files which is created underneath. So let me go ahead and do cat. This is how I can access my pod shell information. Okay, this is a user only, not username. So I can see the encoded text which is there. If I want to decode that, again I use base 64 decode. Let me clear this. I can show you clearly. So now I'm going to decode. This is running inside this pod in this location. In this directory, there is a file created for one field user. And what contains? Basically, it is containing an encoded text which we created. You can see that the encoded text. After I am applying base 64 decode, I can see username. The same way I can look for password that created as a file. Now I apply base 64 -decode. Now I can see that this is the password, which is a plain text. This is how now this file can read by my Spring Boot application, this path, and I can get the encoded username password. I can use base 64 decoding mechanism. I can get the actual secrets. This is the demonstration of application binding your secret with a pod, and you can access within your application. I hope you enjoyed the live demo session. Please like it, share it, comment it, and subscribe. Stay tuned for further updates. Thank you.